Hey guys, in today's video I have my update to Project Polish, and I have progress on some of my polishes and I have finished polishes as well. I have my Project Polish update. I'll link my playlist up at the top at the cards and down below as well. So I'll start off with the polishes that I have visible progress on, and then I'll share with you guys the polishes that I finished, because I was able to finish 3, and those 3 I finished because I didn't have very much left from my last update. So I'll start off with Mutant from CoverGirl. That's where I started off, and this is where I'm at now. And then I have Harp on It from Color Club. This was completely full. Prior to the project I had only used it once, and now I think my last one I put it in, it was at the top here, right here in this area. Now I'm down to here. I do have it on today, which just looks like a silver. In person it shows up, you can see the rainbows a little bit more. And then I have One Chic Chick right there. The green line is where I started. This is where I am now. And this one right here, I'm kind of surprised because I've used it quite a few times, although this one has been more of my pedicure, but each time it requires 3 coats. And I have used it for a couple manicures, and yet there's a little bit of progress, not very much. I have 3 finished polishes here, all of which I had to add thinner. Two of them, like these 2, I had to add quite a bit of thinner to. This is Essie's Berry Naughty, and I didn't have to start adding thinner up until like this point right here. But that's where I started off. This is where was my last update, and then I finished it off. This one right here, my last 2, I used it as pedicures. And I used it as pedicures because I had already added quite a bit of thinner, so I knew it was going to take a long time for it to dry. And my last 2 pedis never dried, so I didn't even wear it for an entire day. I had to switch it up the next day immediately. So it's done. I love this. If not, this is it's either my favorite toe color ever or nearly there kind of situation, because I really like white as a pedicure as well. But this is definitely going to be a repurchase for me. I love it. Showtime from Revlon, not a favorite of mine. A lot of the usage from this one was through gradients, and I had to use it a lot as gradients because it started getting thick pretty early on. I started here at the top, and it started getting thick up until like right at that line right there, which is really early. And somebody actually told me that they're known for getting thick pretty early. So for that very reason, I decided to use it as gradients a majority of the times, because it added a lot of the pigment, but it wasn't a thick blob at the same time, so it wasn't taking forever for it to dry. So this is where I was my last update, and then I finished it off. I don't have pictures this time around because I didn't take any pictures. I have Ultraviolet here. This was completely full. This was my last update, and then I finished it off. I used this a ton in February for pedicures and manicures, quite a bit, so I'm really happy with it. I think you can see, maybe it looks like there's a little bit left, but if there's any left, there's like a tiny little bit, and it's not enough for a full manicure. Number 1. Number 2, the last manicure that I did with it, the polish never settled down because it got thick. The positive thing about this one is that I didn't have to add thinner up until the point that I was down here. So a lot of the polish that I used was without having to add thinner. So that was a really positive experience, considering some of the other ones needed thinner, you know, at the halfway point or pretty early on. So I really enjoyed this polish. I love the color. I'm gonna add a couple polishes in, more than a couple, 3 polishes actually, 2 full size and 1 mini. I'm gonna add Emerald Empowered from Nicole by OPI. That's where I'm starting off. This one requires a couple coats to get it opaque, and then Let's Talk, same thing, 2 coats, and that's where I'm gonna start off. I think these are kind of dark, but I don't know. That's what I was feeling when I went through my drawers. And then I'm gonna add I'm So Swamped. I'm starting off right there. I'm putting this mini in because I have the full size, and I keep going back between the full size and the mini, and that makes no sense to me, so why not finish the mini? I'm not a fan of OPI's minis because the brush is a little bit too small, but I don't think I'll have a problem finishing this out by the next update because it is on the smaller size. So this is probably gonna be one of my focuses. as well as this one right here. Try to work on these two in the next month and then really try to work those out so I can get more polishes in. So this is my little nail wheel now. I have these two right here which are done. Super happy about that because they've lasted quite a few months. I want to say almost 5 months, if not more. And then this one right here is done. So this is what I'm working with now. This is the wheel that I'm working with now. I think I have a really good balance between light colors which are nice and fresh for spring and summer, and then a couple that are a little bit on the darker side. Although this is not overly dark and it's kind of glowy on the nails, it's really pretty. I like having the option of having a deeper purple. And then I can always mix stuff, you know, do some kind of nail art or something like that. So that's everything for this update. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.